Okay, so we have the numbers there and the eggs are ready. And guys, welcome back to this week's YAWA.
Egg roulette style.
Egg roulette style. For you that don't know what egg roulette is, basically you have some hard-boiled eggs, some not hard-boiled eggs. And what we're going to do with the twist of this is we're actually going to draw an egg that's numbered. It's associated with one of the questions that you all ask. And then after we answer the question, we will proceed to smash the egg on our...
After we answer the question? So you're not going to have to literally answer these questions with egg on your face?
We're going to smash the egg on our face and then answer the question.
You get to go first so that we can see how this is all done. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for your great questions. We got to dye some Easter eggs with our son Aiden for Easter.
Yeah, you did a pretty rad job. These are kind of tie-dye-esque.
Yeah. Foam egg dye kit. It was awesome, especially for a little kid like that. So we hope you all had a happy Easter and hope you guys get some good information as well as a few laughs out of this episode of YAWA.
This is your first time to our channel and our videos. Make sure and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the upcoming content that we have. Thanks, guys, and we'll get started. This one feels good. Number 8.
Dude. Oh, you're so lucky. We're putting those in here for egg salad later.
Okay, so question number 8. 8 says, Instagram question here, Brown Dog Boone. Who is your personal dogs? Who do your personal dogs tend to gravitate to more? Or do each dog, do they each have their person? Now we know why I don't read. Okay, so I would say that our dogs do definitely gravitate toward one or the other of us. We kind of have our dogs, and I think that comes down to who has put the most time, effort, and energy into training. Those dogs tend to bond with that individual more.
Which is why we say how important it is for everyone in the family to be involved in your dog's training so that they don't have the only one person that they tend to listen to.
Absolutely.
Our situation's a little different because we have like 10 dogs. So that isn't always easy to do where everybody's working with every puppy all the time. Plus we put out all these great puppy training videos and typically one of us is working with the puppy throughout that series.
Yeah, so you see a little bit of that. Vex is definitely my dog. Nix is definitely her dog.
Quest is definitely my pup.
Definitely. If there's an option, if we're hanging out there together, Quest is curled up by Kat every time. Then I would say that Muddy is even though I did a majority of Muddy's training, she's pretty happy-go-lucky.
She just loves everyone.
Loves everyone, yeah.
Pretty much.
So there is a little bit of that you see.
Sprig, even though he's not technically our puppy, but Ethan's done all of his training and he definitely is Ethan's boy.
Yeah. So you see that. You see that for sure. Great question. Next.
I don't want to. What number? 11.
11.
Can I answer it first before smashing
I don't believe so. And the better off is to full bore this.
1, 2. Oh, thank God. Egg salad for you. Number 11 from Instagram, Saint Thompson 6886. Getting a new pup in a couple months. Take current GSP to local 45-acre field to free run daily. How long should we wait with new pup before bringing him there to walk around on leash? So that's a really good question. I have a question back for you. Is the 45-acre local field something that other dogs are running in, kind of like an off-leash dog park, or is it your own private property? The reason I ask that is if it's someplace where a lot of dogs are congregating, I would recommend waiting until your puppy is at least 16 weeks old and fully vaccinated before you take them to someplace that they could potentially be exposed to parvo or distemper or something like that they haven't been fully vaccinated for. Now, if it's your own field, take them from day one at 8 weeks old. They can come out with you. They're not going to do a lot of running and getting lost. You can even let them off leash so that they can get used to bouncing and running through tall grass and thick cover. That's something that we stress as part of socialization.
Absolutely.
Any new environment that your puppy can get used to is a great opportunity for them. So answer those questions for yourself and then go with what you think you should be able to do.
Next. Number 9. This one feels like I'm screwed.
Nope.
Egg salad. Okay. Number 9 says it's a Instagram question from Andrew Hotzman. My 13-week lab wants to play tug when retrieving. Any ideas? Well, I want to say, first of all, we actually utilize tug as a way to develop a good natural hold, but there's a specific way that you have to go about playing that game. You don't just play tug forever and then let the puppy win. We try and incorporate tug as we play a little bit of tug, good, and then swing them more into like the healing position where we're ultimately going to want them to end up, and then pet them, good dog, let them hold. And then you grab a hold of it again and you give just a little tug, and which is going to stimulate them to bite down again and hold tight, good dog. And then you take it away from them, which when you have a 13-week-old puppy, that's pretty easy. You just open their mouth and take it away. As the puppy gets bigger, if you run into that, or those of you that are watching that have dogs a little older, maybe struggling with the same thing, we would just a lot of times reach down and pick up on their flank. We call that flanking them. And it takes very, very minimal to no pressure. You grab there and it pulls their focus and they'll go, huh, what was that? And drop whatever was in their mouth. And a few reps of that, and pretty much when you go to take something, they just give it up to you anymore. So, but being able to utilize that tug mentality it's a pretty powerful way to say, build a stronger hold, natural hold, so that ultimately you may not have to do more formal training work on retrieving down the road. So great question. Next.
Number 20. Number 20, which is the last question that we thought we'd have time for today. So, oh gosh, I'm really hoping that I luck out and don't get a single raw egg smashed on my face. So come on, karma. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I'm so lucky so far. From Facebook, Sam Nickel.
She's like smashing those with so much force. I think I'm going to get like splash back from the side.
You said to do it with authority. I feel like I'm getting a red spot on my
you have a spot right in the middle of your forehead.
I'm going to do it with a little less gusto next time.
No. Keep it up. The gusto's good.
From Sam Nickel from Facebook. Hey guys, big fan of the videos. I'm glad you like them. I have a 12-week-old golden retriever, Otis. Is it okay to let him wrestle and rough play with his puppy friends when they come over? We also have cats and a small breed, and he also tries to roughhouse with them in the same way. Will he grow out of this, or will this become a pattern? This is a really good question, and I think you probably already have an idea of what our answer is going to be. But anything your dog's doing, they're conditioning themselves to. So you ask, is this something he's going to grow out of, or it will become a pattern? It's definitely going to become a pattern. And you also have a cat and some small breed dogs. So we don't want them thinking that the way that they're playing with their other puppy friends is an okay way to interact with any other animal, whether it's a cat or another dog, a chicken, a child, anything like that, that they see as an equal or a playmate. We definitely don't want that to happen. So I would actually say, at 12 weeks old, your puppy can do less of the crazy roughhouse play with their little friends that come over, and work on more of the obedience and structured training at this point. And they can play, but it has to be monitored and it has to be structured so that it doesn't escalate, because we definitely don't want the puppies to roughhouse too much, especially once they get to a certain age or the puppies that they're playing with finally want to say that's enough. That's not what we want. We don't want the puppies to interact with each other and say, I'm going to put you in your place when I'm tired of the way you're playing with me, because that's typically what's going to end up happening. Somebody's going to get tired of playing too rough and they're going to snap, they're going to growl, they're going to pin another puppy down, and it could escalate to a full-on dog fight even at 12 weeks old. So I would say nip this type of behavior in the bud and let them play supervised in proper play mentality.
Absolutely. I do want to preface the fact that there are 20 total eggs in here for the 20 total questions, and I believe either 6 or 7 of them.
6, I think.
6 are raw eggs. The rest
We could
are
have
not.
a 7th surprise in there. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was 6.
Because so far we've both lucked out, and we
It's
haven't.
not going to last.
But there are actually quite a few raw eggs in there. Okay. This one feels like a loser for sure. It's,
You can't feel that.
Yeah, I've already committed. I can't put it back.
I don't think you can feel it, though. Can you feel?
I don't know. Number 3.
I don't think so. Lucky number 3. That's my favorite number.
This doesn't feel lucky, though.
Lucky for me, maybe. It was lucky for me. Still my lucky number. There you go. That's not egg salad. I got that just for you, babe.
Okay. That was a whole lot more egg on my pants than I kind of thought was going to happen.
Hey, babe, you got a little egg on your face.
Okay. Well, now I don't understand why we decided to do this. I was just hoping to watch Kat smash eggs on her face. Question number 3. From Instagram, it says, Tyler Bachman, can you give me a rough outline of a training guide from 8 weeks to a year old? This is a great question. It's like sticky and it's starting to dry. And okay. It's a great question, and our rough outline actually is available already in the form of video playlists. If you've seen any of our videos here on YouTube or some of our training videos, if you go to standingstonekennels.com/links, throw that up right here so that everybody can see that. It's going to say Rogue series and Quest series, and that actually shows you from 8 weeks to approximately, killing birds over them for sure. In order.
And for Rogue, definitely through YAWA training.
Yep.
So
everything that you need. Yeah, everything that you need for about the first year. And they are step by step. It's all drying on my face. Step by step, the order that we did them in, and kind of the progression of once you've got this down, go to the next step. And that's how you should follow those videos along.
Yeah, you shouldn't look at the ages because sometimes they have ages listed.
Yep. But if you have a dog now that's 8 weeks, or you have a dog that's 5 months or 8 months, you can start at square one. The more your dog knows, the faster they're going to move through the steps. And then just follow along with the series that seems to best fit your dog's personality. Because Quest and Rogue, both very, very nice dogs, but have very different personalities. So check those out. StandingStoneKennels.com/links. And that's step-by-step the orders that we do. So definitely do that. Then the other thing that you can look at is our Patreon page. Gives you the ability to basically go hand in hand with those videos so that you can get direct feedback for the questions that you have along the way.
Yes. Good question.
All right,
especially because
turn.
It ended up with an egg in Ethan's face. Number 12. I think that this one's an unlucky one.
You definitely kept. That was like you had. See, I was trying to get you to fully commit so that you could.
I did, and I caught it in my hand. It like bounced off my forehead into my hand.
Very nice.
I think that my forehead's going to be bruised. I've been hitting myself way too hard with these. Okay. Ow, ow.
What number was that even?
12.
Was it 12 or is it 11?
It was 12.
Okay.
I remember. Okie dokie. 12. From Instagram. JetG86. Hi, both. We're from Holland and have been following you guys on YouTube for quite some time now. Awesome.
Hello, Holland.
We have a 5-month-old GSP, Carlos. He is barking a lot when he is excited or when he has to wait his turn in a small group training situation. How can we address this? And it's not the same as alarm barking. I wouldn't have thought, based on your explanation, that it was alarm barking. It sounds like he's excited. He is a dog that wants to work. And there's definitely some dogs out there, even at 5 months, that say, hey, it needs to be my turn. They're a little more demanding. They always want their turn. They want to train, train, train. So I would say that we want to recognize that this is becoming a pattern and hopefully be able to interrupt that pattern so that it doesn't become a complete habit. And we need to teach him some patience. So one of the things that we do, especially in more advanced training, is that we deny puppies things when they're barking. So we don't give in to that, especially as we've seen in some of our advanced training videos of denials when it comes to retrieving. That's considered negative punishment, where they don't get something. And not necessarily am I recommending that with your 5-month-old puppy, but if he's barking in his crate or on a stakeout while the other dogs are training, I don't necessarily know what your exact situation is, but I would definitely say that those are the situations where you don't give in and say, oh, well, he's barking. He wants it to be his turn, so let's give him his turn. Something that we actually utilize in the kennel during situations like this, because we've got a kennel situation. There's a lot of dogs that are wanting to train and are very motivated, but they can't all train at the same time because they have to take their turn and they have to wait and they have to be patient, is we actually utilize a treadmill.
Yeah.
We've talked about that in a couple other videos, how we set up using a treadmill and why it works, but it's mentally stimulating for the dog as well as physically stimulating. And dogs typically can only think about one thing at a time. So if they're focused and working on their treadmill work and can't think about what they're missing out on another training session.
The only other thing I can say is if you watch our videos, if you kind of refer back to Quest's series, in the beginning of her training, she did a lot of barking and kind of mouthy behavior. And we showed firsthand how we worked through that when it was just her involved. Now, what Kat's talking about works more for the situations where you're talking about in small group training sessions. But when it's just you and him and he wants your attention, or he wants something, or he's trying to tell you that, definitely kind of refer to the beginning part of Quest series and you can see how we worked through that firsthand. So awesome. It is my turn.
It is your turn. Don't try and get out of it. Lucky number 13.
Ooh.
I don't think it's lucky. Lucky for me, maybe. Oh, on the floor.
Okay. I have a lot of egg in my nether regions there.
And now on the floor, so don't put your foot in it.
Okay. Rex.
Where's Grandpa Rex when you need him? Want a little raw egg,
All
buddy?
right. Lucky number 13. Thank you, Bully Love 1. I have a poodle pointer. I'm guessing that's what PP stands for. PP. That just turned a year old. She has been fun to train, and I have followed all of your videos. She has been trained with the collar to retrieve here and kennel. But as we start to work on retrieving with birds and fun things, she doesn't want to bring them back. She caught a baby squirrel the other day and didn't have her collar on, and she would not bring it back no matter what. I don't even know with her collar on if she would have brought it back. She knew it was something good and she didn't want to give it up. I need help on how to get her to bring things back that are not just a bumper. She will, of course, bring those back every time. Thanks in advance. So this is a great question. And we talk about often, I have egg everywhere. We talk about often that retrieving is basically two things. A dog that wants to pick something up and carry it around, and a dog that's very consistent and good at coming back to you. So picking it up and wanting to hold it, and then recall. So it sounds like in your situation, you have a bold and confident dog that knows what she wants and is going to do her best to keep it that way, or keep the things she wants. It sounds like you just need to put some more emphasis on recall and make sure that that is very, 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 very solid. And then don't put her in situations where you could end up, like you said, she was running around without her collar on and caught a squirrel, which is insane. But I know that dogs can do that sometimes. So trying to make sure that she's in situations. And ultimately, you know, no owner or no dog is perfect. So you're going to have situations like that, and you just deal with them the best that you can when they arise. But try and set yourself up and your dog's self up for success by being prepared. Utilize the e-collar when you're in those uncontrolled environments as much as is physically possible. The more emphasis that you put on recall, the better off this is all going to get.
The more conditioned that they're going to become. So when you've got the collar on, use it every time you recall them. Don't just have it there so you're like, well, if she decides not to come, then I can use it. If you can really condition that to happen every time you say your dog's name, don't have her name. Here, press that button until she gets all the way to you. That way, in these situations where she doesn't have the e-collar on, which that's ultimately going to happen every once in a while. Like Ethan said, we're not perfect. Every situation doesn't end up perfect. That way, though, hopefully she'll be so conditioned and it's so ingrained and has become such a default that she's like, oh, I have to come, even if she doesn't have that collar on. Try
and utilize the collar more as a way to talk to the dog than a way to just correct them when they're doing something that's not right. And if you get into that response, you know, it's going to build a lot more consistent response all the way around. So,
and just a little trick, if you don't have a collar on and you're really trying to get her to you with something she's not supposed to necessarily have, is one recommendation would be don't get after her about having something she's not supposed to have. We don't want her to think she's in trouble. Otherwise, why would she want to bring it to you and come
exactly.
to you? So if you do get her to come to you, praise her, tell her what a good job she did, how good of a girl she is.
Even if it's a shoe or a squirrel or whatever, good job. You brought this to me. That's amazing.
Praise her, pet her a little bit, let her keep holding on to it for a little bit, as long as she's not mouthing and destroying it. But then take it from her. And then the other thing that I can say is if you're still trying to get her to come all the way to you, if you can actually, what we do is called close the gap. A lot of times the dogs will come near you, but they're just parading around, showing off their prize, going, no, 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 look what I've got. And you want them to come all the way into you. So if you take a few steps back from them, they're going to keep coming closer and closer because they're like, hey, I'm trying to show you this. And then you can take that half a step forward to meet them by closing that gap.
That's perfect. Guys, I think that's all we've got time for in part 1. We will
be back in part 2. We've got lots more eggs for Ethan to smash on his face.
There's at least 3 or 4 more.
There's 3 or 4 more
smashers in there. So we will be back shortly. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you in a minute.